I'd been looking at property in South America. If we change it to Casa Del MerMan, we could use the same name down there. That's what we did. And we had an artist kind of do the merman. Originally, it had my face on it, and I didn't like that. So I changed the face
Brian,
on
you
it.
don't want to be a merman?
No. Well, yeah, you know.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Skittle Squad Podcast. We're glad you're here today. My name is David Smith, and I am with my fabulous co-host.
I'm Paul Piper.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. It seems like I haven't seen you forever.
I know. Well, I mean, we don't. Yeah. I mean, we're usually in the studio once a month. So unless we're doing something social
Right.
or event.
Yeah, it's been about a month
yeah.
since we were filming.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to call out right at the get-go is thank you to all of our watchers and listeners. We have officially hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Woo-hoo!
Woo!
So thank you to everyone for subscribing, watching, listening, and sharing with your friends and family. Because of you, we're here. So thank you.
Yep. Absolutely.
Very, very exciting news.
Although I still need a crown.
Well, we are going to give Paul a crown. There will be a crowning ceremony when we hit 10,000.
Absolutely, because
Yes.
I have crown envy because of our episode with seduction.
Yeah, we had an episode with Seduction D. Dickerson.
Yeah.
She's was Miss St. Pete Pride 2025.
Yep.
And she had an amazing crown.
Absolutely.
We probably are
gorgeous.
going to need to consult with her before we get a crown for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she could present it to you. Maybe she could be a guest.
That would be cool.
A
Yes.
guest. Yeah,
yes.
that would be nice. We could do a whole
Yeah,
ceremony.
absolutely.
Will you wear a dress?
No, I won't wear a dress, but I will wear a crown
okay.
for sure.
All right.
Because I have
okay.
to keep the t-shirt thing going.
Oh, that's true. And speaking of,
Yeah.
what does your t-shirt say today?
I'm a trophy husband.
Trophy husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for people that may not understand what a trophy husband is,
I'm the eye candy.
you're the eye candy.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
In my marriage, I'm the eye candy.
So you're the eye candy and
Yeah.
Rick is...
Is not the eye candy.
I always thought trophy husband was like the whole package.
I am.
So you've got the looks.
So I've got the looks. I've got the brains. I've got the money.
And the brawn.
Not the brawn.
Uh-oh. I feel like Muffin Top's coming
Yeah,
up
I
again.
know. I've got a muffin top, though.
We cannot get away from the Muffin Top.
No.
And by the way, stay tuned. I will be presenting Paul a brand new t-shirt.
I am.
That is going to be something related around the Muffin Top.
I'm never letting that go. Like that.
Not only are you not letting that go, I am now getting daily comebacks from you on
Muffin
that.
top. Yep. Yep. That will never go away.
So we are in July. Pride Month is over.
Yep.
And we had an absolutely amazing Pride Month, meeting so many folks in the community. It was absolutely wonderful seeing everybody in St. Pete getting together, supporting each other.
Absolutely.
They had a turnout, I heard, of 350,000 people.
Yeah, it was insane.
It
the number of people.
It really was. So why don't you tell folks a little bit about what we did?
So what we did was we partnered up with the Big Gay Radio Show, our friends at the Big Gay Radio Show, and we actually marched in the parade with them, which was a lot of fun, although it was hot as hell. I mean, it was crazy. And I was feeling it I don't know about you, but the next day my legs were like jelly. I mean, I was like, oh my God, I'm too old to be doing this.
Right. And then for folks that haven't walked in the St. Pete Parade before, is you have to get there hours before you actually start walking.
Yeah, yeah. So you're standing there waiting
right.
in, 90-degree heat.
Yes.
And you're already a sweaty mess to begin with. And then you're marching in the parade. And the parade only lasts like a little over a mile. So it's not like you're marching for a long period of time.
Yeah, we were walking in the parade like maybe, 45 minutes to an hour or something like that.
But it was crazy, crazy hot. Like,
it was.
For sure.
And
I was like, by the time we were done, I was like, okay, I'm over it at this point because I don't like to be hot and sweaty.
Right.
Like,
Do you think that if you were attending an event like that, you should wear jeans or shorts?
Okay, so I did wear jeans only because So my legs are like super, super white and they reflect off.
Oh, okay. Got you.
It's kind of like your bald head. Like the sun reflects off my legs. So I want to spare people from that. So,
Right. Okay.
So I was wearing jeans. So it was super, super hot. But the next day when we were doing the street fair, I did wear shorts because I was like, no, I can't do the jeans. But we did decide that next year we're renting a convertible.
For sure.
And we're going to represent the Skittle Squad. And we're going to ride in the parade on our own.
Absolutely.
And we'll throw out beads or
Yes,
whatever.
we'll throw out beads.
Yeah.
You know, it's really fun. Those bubble guns.
Yeah,
Wait, you had a bubble gun during the street festival.
I did have a bubble gun, yes.
But it seemed like it was high maintenance. It was a lot of work.
It was very high maintenance. It took literally like an engineering degree to put the thing together. So I was like, okay, Rick, put this together for me because I don't have the patience for that kind of stuff. So he put it together, but then it wasn't working like very well either. Like
maybe you need to try a different brand or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, we did have a bubble gun
on the street during the street festival.
During the street festival, and we were passing out merch.
Yeah. So big shout out and thank you to our street squad, Skittle Squad team. We've had a group of about 10 folks that came over to my house, and we would head over to the street festival with a bunch of Skittle Squad wristbands, and we just combed the streets. I think we had maybe 300 or 400 wristbands.
Yeah.
Talking to everybody, telling them about the show. Now, I do have to tell you something I didn't tell you during the street festival, but I may have cheated a little bit because it was so hot.
Oh, okay.
It was hot again that day.
Yeah.
And there was an amazing city bus. It was a cooling center. And I
saw that.
Potentially maybe went in there for about 30 minutes and just sat there and handed out wristbands in the bus.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it was so amazing because it was so nice.
I did buy you a fan, one of those fans that you put around your neck.
Those are cool. Yeah, those are great.
Those are only effective for a short amount of time.
Right.
I feel like after like 30 or 40 minutes, they're not effective anymore. You're just...
You know what I really did love is the cooling towels we got from the VIP tent.
That was nice.
Yeah, remember what happened there?
Oh, so no offense to David and Lee because, they do put on a good
it was amazing.
Show and everything. And we had elected to do VIP for both the show, which was Martha Wash and some other folks were performing. And the VIP section was a big tent, and you had your own restrooms, and you got free drinks, and so on and so forth. And then later that night, we had our own VIP cabana. But when we went to do the VIP tent, like we were bum rushed as soon as we got in there, and they were like, "Do you have tickets?" I'm like, "What are you, the Gestapo?" I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Yes, we have tickets."
Well, we had been, canvassing the streets for a while, so we showed up a little later than everyone else.
We did.
So yeah, we did get interrogated for a moment, but the VIP experience that David and Lee created was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. It was amazing. And Martha Wash was
my goodness,
fantastic.
She was so much fun.
Yes.
I was 100% gay that whole day.
Yeah, so much fun. And with the VIP, you got right up, next to the stage.
Yeah.
So we were like right there at the very front.
Yeah.
But she put on an incredible show.
She did.
Amazing.
She's 71.
Yeah.
She was singing Raining Men like she was
absolutely
back in 40 years ago.
The crowd was going insane.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. And then later that night, we had our own VIP cabana next to the pool at the wet spot. So that was a lot of fun. We had some of our former guests.
We had Morgan
future guests.
step
Morgan
in.
was
Morgan
there.
Was shade.
Brian was there.
He was shady as usual.
Right.
Yeah.
Scott, who is coming up.
Scott Simon.
Scott
which
Simon
he will
was
be
hanging
on our
out with
next
us.
episode.
Yeah. I think Raquel Blue hung out with you guys
she
for
showed
a little
up.
bit.
Yeah. Because I know you were really, really tired because you were a little older, so you have to call it a day earlier.
No, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
It was like that weekend took a lot. I mean, like I am really getting old.
You're pushing 60. I know. Yeah.
Shut up. Anyway, so I mean, I'm getting a little old to be, partying it up with the 20-year-olds anymore.
Yeah.
Like it definitely took a lot out of me. Like,
Well,
it took
I will
me
say
some time
I went out Thursday night.
yeah.
I didn't drink anything.
Yeah.
But I went to bed at probably around 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And when I woke up the next day for work, it felt like I had been out drinking.
Right.
And it was just because I just didn't get enough sleep.
Right.
So yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you there for
Yeah.
sure.
Because I'm like, okay, I'm getting really, really too old for this. So
Well, one thing that probably will definitely help is just drinking a lot of water. Because you don't like drinking water.
So
This man, for the record, almost gave himself heat stroke because he would not drink water during the Pride Parade while he was wearing jeans, standing 3 feet behind a truck with the heavy heat exhaust. I came over to Paul. I felt so bad. I was like, Paul, I'm like, do yourself a favor. Let's just step back like 10 feet from the truck and you'll probably cool down a little. No, you wouldn't do it.
because, you know, I was assigned safety guy. So I was wearing like the orange vest. I looked like the construction
You did
worker
look like
from the
a
Village
YMCA
people.
construction worker. Yeah.
So I was behind the truck to make sure, you know, that nobody got hit by the truck and, you know, everybody was safe and everything. So I didn't get to pass out like the carnations. Like
Yeah, we were passing out carnations,
Yeah.
and it was funny because a lot of the flowers would come off of the stems.
Oh, yeah.
And I was instructed by our fearless leaders, you know, do not hand the carnation to the people flower first. You have to do it stem first. So I was handing out all the carnation stem first, and then a lot of times I was just handing them a stem with no flower.
And so there was like a whole procedure to this.
Oh, there was a procedure. Yeah, there was a procedure.
Wow. Okay.
And I was baffled after no one would take this last flower. Like I offered it to 10 people, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a stem.
because it's a stem.
It was just a stem.
Okay.
But it's great that the Big Gay Radio Show did hand the carnations out.
Yeah, I
because
mean, because
there are
everybody
so
does.
many beads.
Yeah, everybody does beads.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were doing carnations was unique and memorable. And we actually, during the parade, we actually got a shout out. Do you remember that? Because there was 2 people that were kind of like acting as broadcasters.
Yeah, they gave us a huge
parade.
shout out in front of the grandstand.
So I ran over to the grandstand and flipped open my vest and said, you know, because I was wearing a Skittle Squad t-shirt.
Yeah.
And they said, we got the Skittle Squad here. Although they did say we were with the radio station.
Well,
and
we
we're
were
not with the radio
walking with
station,
them,
but we were
yeah,
walking with
anyway.
them. But at least the name of the show got a shout out.
Yeah, that was really cool that
Yeah.
they gave us a shout out during the parade.
It was
fun.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, although we waited for hours to start walking, once we were in the parade, I had never walked in a parade like that before. It was really, really fun.
So this was my third or fourth time walking in the parade. So
okay.
I already knew what to expect. Like last year I walked with my company.
Oh, okay.
So I knew what to expect, but it's not always nice to see people that you don't normally see, that you run into, you know, while you're out and about, and you may not have seen them for a while. So
Right.
it's nice to see those people that you may not normally get to see. And then, you know, marching in the parade is always a lot of fun. Although I do think next year we should just rent a convertible.
I do have a whole plan set up for us. It
and-
includes a lot of air conditioning,
Yeah.
private drivers, and
right.
yeah,
Because I told Rick, I
for
said,
sure.
Rick, you can drive the convertible. Dave and I will sit in the back, and we'll just be like this, you know.
Well, I want
waving.
somebody fun to drive the convertible.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, we'll figure it out. I mean, I
Like
love
someone-
Rick, but maybe someone young and hot in a Speedo or something.
Oh, that's
maybe
a great
Scott.
idea.
Maybe Scott.
Scott Simon, yes.
God,
Yeah.
he's so cute.
Yeah, he's coming
Oh my
up.
God, he'll be on our next episode.
He is coming on the next
he'll
episode.
be wearing clothes this time though.
Yeah, damn it.
But that's okay. We'll flash up some pictures of Scott now and on the next episode just for everybody to have a little bit of eye candy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta love those lips on his ass. Anywho, I think we probably should wrap it up and take a quick break, and we'll talk to Brian Longstreth from Casa Del MerMan in just a moment.
Fam League is Tampa Bay's ultimate adult social sports league, bringing together kickball, dodgeball, pickleball, bowling, and more in a fun, social, and all-inclusive environment. Whether you're here to compete, connect, or just have a blast, there's a place for you in this community. We're proudly LGBTQIA+ inclusive and welcome players of all skill levels. From themed tournaments and sponsored bar nights to bar Olympics, and watch parties for your favorite sporting events. Fam League is more than just sports and events. It's a family. And they accept old people like David and muffin tops like me.
Welcome back. We're excited to introduce our guest today, Brian Longstreth.
Hey,
Brian.
Brian.
How are you?
How are
Great.
you?
So, Brian, you've been a part of St. Pete's LGBTQ plus scene for decades. And we mean that in a complimentary
Started
way.
very young.
Are you saying he's old?
Can you just share a little bit about gaystpete.com and how that came to be and like what inspired you to create it initially?
Oh, it's kind of funny. It was after St. Pete Pride,
Okay.
the first year, and we were going to a Pride conference in Savannah, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I really hadn't been to Savannah. I knew of it. And so I had typed in a search for what's gay in Savannah, and gaysavannah.com came up. And it was a very nice website, very, detailed, lots of great listings. And I thought, we need this in St. Pete.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, gaystpete.com was available, and I reserved it and then just started filling it out. And it's a nonprofit. I don't really make any money off of it. I just try to keep it updated and just as a resource for the community. And I think it's been helpful to a lot of people. And we try to keep information on neighborhoods and business entities and nonprofits, and just keep it updated and just as a resource.
Yeah, I definitely encourage folks to check it out because there really is a multitude of different businesses and nonprofits on there. Even when I was looking earlier today, just businesses that you're just not aware of. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's a really great resource. Now, you also launched the Come Out St. Pete, right?
Yeah, we did that. Part of it was in response to St. Pete Pride moving the parade downtown.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Part of it was realizing that we could have another event later in the year in the Grand Central District, and it was tied to National Coming Out Day. And so while I love St. Pete Pride, obviously, and I think it's very important, somebody, I can't remember who it was, said it's also important that everybody comes out because you actually change more minds by coming out to people than you do by waving rainbow flags at them.
Right, right.
And so it's that personal experience. You'll see a lot of people, politicians or whatever, are not for gay rights until they find out they have a sibling or a relative that turns out to be gay.
Right.
And suddenly their mind changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of the theory behind National Coming Out Day is that's a good day to tell everybody that you're gay. Come out of the closet. So we wanted to do that and try to tie some events into National Coming Out Day just to highlight that.
That's a really great history. I bet a lot of folks don't know why the origin story about Come Out St. Pete.
Yeah, it's always remained kind of small, and that's fine. It was also meant to be very community based. We're not going after big national sponsors and things like that. It's very local.
So can you talk about some of the events for Come Out St. Pete that happened?
They have, it's kind of ebbed and flowed over the years. We've done some picnics in the parks. We've done some street festivals, art festivals. We've done a couple of chili cook-offs. We coordinate a lot with the Grand Central District in their Halloween festival because it's in that same time period. One of the early things they did that still get used quite a bit is the 375-foot long rainbow flag.
Yeah.
So we unfurl that during St. Pete Pride, and we try to find other events that we can do that with as well.
It's funny because I actually saw the pride flag at the festival, and I was wondering how long is that flag?
Yeah,
so it's 375
feet.
It's long.
Yeah, it's very long. How many people does it take to hold up that flag and carry it down the street?
You can do it with as few as of 50, but we like about 100.
Okay.
Just to keep it taut and walk. And we roll it up, unroll it, and then roll it back up and put it in storage till the next event. We're fortunate. My brother at Your Neighborhood Realty has a golf cart. And that's what we've used almost every time.
I saw the golf cart
to roll it down the street, and it works very well.
And it's all volunteer.
It's all volunteers. Yeah, there's no paid positions, and always looking for volunteers, looking for other organizations to partner with, and I think there's a benefit for that organization to be in the community and be engaged.
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, a lot of origin stories there. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole too far, but let's just talk a little bit about the parade change from Grand Central District down to Vinoy Park. There's a lot of, let's just say, conspiracy theories as to why it moved, but what was the reason that it moved down to the Vinoy Park area downtown?
I think the biggest reason, obviously, the events had grown. I mean, when we first started St. Pete Pride, the parade and the festival were the same day. The parade actually walked through the festival.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
In 2003, in a couple of years. As it grew, we realized it had to be split up to separate days because they both got very big. We had moved in the Grand Central District, the parade, to a night parade. For cooler weather and a little different, options, which I thought worked very well. And then I think it was 2017, maybe, that the decision was made by St. Pete Pride to move the parade downtown. Most of that, my understanding is, that was driven by the desire to host a World Pride event. And so they wanted it downtown where there were prettier pictures along the waterfront.
Oh, I see.
And a lot of that, I think, was pushed by Visit St. Pete Clearwater, the Tourism Bureau, because they were involved in trying to get that festival as well.
Do you know if there's any plans to have World Pride here?
I have not heard of anything recently to do that. I think there had been talk about Orlando and St. Pete maybe working together, as a joint effort, which I think would be cool. Those kind of conferences are big and expensive, and I think from what I'm seeing, it seems like St. Pete Pride is kind of pulling back a little bit from the corporate world to being a little more grounded, which is what it was started as.
Oh, that's nice.
We were very fortunate in those early years to have good corporate local support. So everything was free, it was accessible to everybody. And as the event has grown, and I'm thrilled to see how quickly it grew. I've also seen now the loss of the ability of local businesses to participate just because of the costs. And I, for one, am not a huge fan of the parade downtown. I think it's too short. You wait for 3 hours to walk in about a 1 hour parade.
Right.
And half of it's cut off by the waterfront. So there's, the accessibility is to me not as great as when it was on Grand Central District. And I think Grand Central will always be the home and the start of St. Pete Pride. I would like to see an effort to bring it back. Maybe it starts in the Edge District and goes west into and ends in the Grand Central District. To me, that would be the right thing to do or the best thing to do.
Yeah, Grand Central District. I love Grand Central District.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I would love to see it come back.
It's amazing. I mean, and that's the Grand Central District story itself is just really interesting. It started as neighbors in 1999, just kind of tired of how bad Central Avenue was.
Oh, okay.
So much of the storefronts were vacant or used as storage. There were several adult use places that had mostly been closed down by then by ordinances. So there was just a really dead zone. And the Grand Central District grew out of those neighbors getting together and basically demanding the city make some changes.
It's so vibrant now. So that's a great story.
It's funny because we did a whole series of design charrettes and discussing zoning, and we toured some other parts of the state. For successful, what they call main streets, where they do that kind of redevelopment. And it was a zoning change, and it was marketing changes. And we really just kind of said, okay, here's almost a clean slate, because you had all these empty businesses that were originally retail, a ton of gas stations that were no longer gas stations. And if you look at almost all those gas stations now, they're all restaurants.
Yeah. Right.
And
it's so funny because there are a lot of restaurants and gas stations.
Yes.
Oh, that's so interesting.
In 2000, there was one restaurant. It was a diner, breakfast and lunch. There was probably 8 to 10 gas stations or auto-related businesses. And all of that has changed in 20 years.
Wow.
And now we have probably 30 restaurants and certainly several fun bars. And it's become that walkable, fun district that was the original plan.
Yeah.
So that brings up a really good point. So you've been a part of the community for quite a while. how have things changed?
I
from when
started
you
very
first
young.
Came out to how things are now. Like what has been the progression?
It's been fun to watch, and part of the reason going back to the start of St. Pete Pride, that timeline is Grand Central was 1999 and 2000, and then we were having discussions in those years about not really happy with how Tampa Bay Pride was all Tampa focused, and St. Pete Pride or St. Petersburg, City of St. Pete, changed their human rights ordinance in 2002.
Okay.
To be inclusive. It wasn't totally inclusive, but it included gays and lesbians. And so we wanted to thank the city for doing that. We wanted to highlight there were several new gay-owned businesses that had relocated in the district. And so we wanted to highlight that. And that's where was the impetus to start St. Pete Pride in the Grand Central District. It was kind of twofold. It was, we have a lot of new gay businesses. We want to highlight what the city of St. Petersburg has done, and we want to highlight St. Pete. And at the same time, honoring the history of Stonewall, keeping it on that hot last Saturday of June. And I always say it was hot in New York the last Saturday of June, so get over it. Recognize the history of it, and let's get back to those roots and work towards a more inclusive Pride event that's accessible to everybody. The old Tampa Pride had gone all tickets and nothing was accessible. It was all you had to buy tickets or booths or whatever. So very quickly, St. Pete Pride became an economic generator for the Grand Central District. A lot of those vendors in the first couple of years ended up creating storefronts and becoming those new retailers. So they were taking these buildings that were empty, painted over, and opening vibrant businesses. And many of them were the residents that lived in the adjoining neighborhoods, historic Kenwood, Palmetto Park, Central Oak Park. So then you were starting to get that traffic of, crossing into Central Avenue and walkability and things like that. So it really it kind of continued to grow from there. We went through the recession of 2007, 2008, where everything kind of stopped. At that point, Grand Central, I think, was really on the cusp of getting more multifamily, which creates more walkability and more customers for all that business.
Right.
And so that kind of crashed at the same time. So it was kind of a reset for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
So, but now you see, there's a couple of hotels now, there's a couple of apartment buildings, and there's more on the horizon to create that density and a walkable district. No cars needed. People are using the scooters and the e-bikes and walking more, which is great.
Yeah, it's really fun. And to me, it's amazing how long Central is. Yeah. I mean, you've got so many businesses from downtown all the way through Grand Central and beyond, really. Think what maybe it cuts off maybe around 34th, but it's just really just amazing to see all those businesses. What is that, like 3 miles, I think? Yeah,
it's a very short period of length, but it's the density is the difference. If you think about just the number of jobs that are created in that district now compared to what there was before. And then the people that live there, and then the money that is turned over and over within the district, and what that does. It's also taken some of the heat off of downtown St. Pete, where the prices have skyrocketed, and so a lot of the small businesses that used to be in downtown St. Pete, they didn't necessarily go out of business. They moved.
Right.
And that's okay. They're still in town.
Yeah.
And we're seeing some of that now as prices rise in the Grand Central District. They're moving out west. They're moving along MLK Street or 22nd Street. So it's vibrancy that helps the entire city. Not everything has to be focused downtown.
Right. And the diversity of the businesses that are in that particular district. I mean, pretty much anything that you could possibly want, you can find right there.
And it's been kind of funny in my former career as a realtor in that area. We would have businesses, that say they're interested in coming into the district, and we would have very frank conversations with them if your business is a good fit or not. And that ties into being LGBTQ friendly. This is the district that's known for that. So if you are not, this is probably not the right district for you.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
You won't be successful because the neighborhoods around there are very gay, and the business people. And there's a couple of events every year that bring a whole lot of gay people here. So
Right.
if you're not comfortable with that, you maybe should look somewhere else.
Well, I know Paul loves when I say this, so I'll say this today right now. I know you wear a lot of different hats. That's a shout out for Paul. But let's dive into Casa Del MerMan in St. Pete. So you do wear a lot of different hats for real in real life. And so originally it was Gay St. Pete House in 2008. So maybe let's talk a little bit about like the transformation and then what is Casa Del MerMan?
It was kind of funny. We had in 2020, I think it was, we had opened, I'll go back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Casa Del, or Gay St. Pete House started because of that real estate recession.
Oh, interesting.
I was a realtor. The phone wasn't ringing. I was thinking, do I have to get a real job again? I didn't want to. I had already owned the building as an apartment building. And I was like, the Suncoast Resort had closed in 2007. The Flamingo had not opened. That was another year later. And people were still calling, where can I stay in St. Pete? Where can I stay in St. Pete? So I originally started with what was my bedroom and my office in the main house. And I converted those 2 rooms. They were poolside, and made them guest rooms. And they took off pretty quickly in popularity. And as it had annual rentals in the other rooms, and as their leases came up, I said, well, we're converting to this. And so within about 3 years, we had converted the whole building to bed and breakfast.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we have 6 rooms in the pool area. We do day passes. And then in 2020, it all started with a couple of those merman ornaments that I had hanging in the bar area by the pool. And I said, I want looking to kind of refresh the brand and, try something different. And a friend of mine had created a bunch of merman shirts that had all different types of mermen on them. And I thought they were really cute. And then I got hooked on the ornaments, and I was just like, let's call it the House of Merman. And then, I was Casa Del MerMan sounds, fancier.
I love that.
And so we changed the name. And then at the same time, about 6 months later, I'd been looking at property in South America, and we thought, well, if we change it to Casa Del MerMan, we can use the same name down there, and it flows better. And so that's what we did. And we had our artist kind of do the merman. It was on purpose to be a little heavier merman, not the muscular merman, because knowing our clientele, we wanted to make sure that everybody feels comfortable there. Originally, it had my face on it, and I didn't like that, so I changed the face.
Brian,
on
you
it.
don't want to be a merman?
No. Well, I've still got I'm the belly image.
Muffin tops are welcome there.
Yes. Our merman has a muffin top. Yes.
Well, let's talk a little bit about. So I may butcher this, but you've got a Gay Montanita house in Ecuador.
Yes.
And so that's really exciting. I think you were starting to maybe talk about that. So when did that open?
We had, there were a couple of starts to that. Back in 2007 was my first trip down to Ecuador. And I had visited a couple of different places. I knew I wanted gay-friendly, affordable, beachfront, and no hurricanes.
Oh,
I'm a native Floridian, and I'm just kind of done with hurricanes.
Right.
Me too.
And I have friends that have, invested in the Caribbean and, lost everything. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'd gone down to Costa Rica. It was already kind of expensive on the coast. Panama, not so gay friendly. Colombia, beautiful. But again, the coast was kind of expensive. Ecuador kept popping up in my Google searches. And so I went down with a friend. He said, you should go to Montanita. I'm like, okay, never heard of it. And I went there, and my first day there, I was like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. This was beachfront, laid back, very bohemian. It was probably more bohemian than I had thought I would end up.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I love it.
Yeah.
And it's just that laid back, everybody's not in a hurry. And it's an adjustment, especially for gringos. To say, just chill out, what will happen,
Right.
and just enjoy life.
And you had explained to me what to expect when you visit, and I really liked hearing that. So maybe just explain to folks, like if they do go visit, what do they experience maybe on a weekend versus during the week? And
Yeah, Montanita started as a surfing town and backpackers. So it has a real international clientele, which was part of the attraction to me. I went to all the other little beach villages, and they were all cute and charming, but kind of boring. A lot of nightclubs in Montanita, big nightclubs. It's a town of 2,500 people that on the weekend doubles in size, on a holiday weekend triple or quadruple in size. And these nightclubs are just huge. So when you go down, it's kind of nice. I always tell people to try to spend a week, because enjoy the nightlife and the fun. Spend some time during the week when it's not as busy, and you can enjoy some of the nature. There's many rainforests, there's whale watching, there's fishing, all kinds of things you can get involved in down there, just if you love nature. Everything is extremely affordable. The food is amazingly fresh. I really feel the difference down there, with all the lack of preservatives and everything. Just you see them bringing in the fish and the shrimp and the octopus and everything, and it's going right to the table practically.
Wow. I absolutely love hearing that.
Yeah.
Because I think our food supply in the U.S. is just poison at this
absolutely.
point.
And it's funny, I look at the labels of food and everything down there, but even the processed foods down there don't have all the chemicals.
Yeah.
Even the Coca-Cola down there has less sugar in it than the U.S. Coca-Cola. And it took a long time to get Diet Coke down there, because that's what I drink. But now it's becoming more and more popular. But really, the food is just amazing, and because of the international clientele in Montanita, there's a nicer variety of restaurants. There's a couple of villages like right next to us that between the three of them, you've really got some great variety. Italian, Greek, Peruvian, all kinds of fun.
And from an accessibility and cost perspective, what could folks anticipate to?
A week at our resort down there costs about $350.
Wow.
Not a night.
Okay,
That's per week.
Wow.
We take usually a taxi or a private van from the airport. It's a 2.5 hour drive. It comes out to about $30 to $40 a person, depending how many people.
Wow,
we don't rent cars. We walk everywhere. I have rented a car before, and it sat the whole time. And they charge a lot for insurance on cars down there. And once you drive there, you will understand why. They're a little crazy. But it's nice. I mean, that's an expense you don't have to worry about. And you get to spend time meeting lots of locals. You get to spend time meeting other gringos, other people from other countries. There's lots of Canadians down there, a fair amount of Europeans. And it is very multicultural. It is very, I say it's kind of a mix between Old Key West and Bourbon Street in New Orleans and just artsy music, food that's very fun.
Sounds amazing.
Wow.
Sounds really fun. I guess we need to go.
Yeah, we need to go.
Yeah,
People are very friendly down there. And I try to warn people. I said, say hi to everybody, or hola. The problem, if you say hola, they assume you know Spanish. And then it's like,
right. Well, if I say hola, then they'll know that I don't speak Spanish, and maybe they'll be like, tourist.
Yes. They pretty much tag us pretty much when we come in town.
Makes sense.
We've had people have taken the bus. There's a express bus that also runs from the airport. It's pretty nice. We've been doing it more and more. It's $7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For a 3-hour ride.
Okay.
But when they get off the bus, the taxi driver is going, Merman? Yes.
Is it that obvious?
Yes, it is. But that's funny. We've had great interaction with the locals down there and working with the local governments. We've got a couple of different things going on with the hotel itself. Has 20 rooms and a big pool area. So there's a lot more opportunity there. We have some land that is part of the property that we want to do some condos to become part of the resort, so they can you can live in them if you want to, or rent them out, get a return on your investment. We have some adjacent land that long term, hopefully we'll do a retirement community.
Oh, okay.
Healthcare down there is much cheaper in the U.S. Medicines are much cheaper. A whole lot of the medicine is over the counter down there. That's prescription here. Prescriptions are cheap.
And then you're working on some clubs and bars in the area, right?
Yeah, we also, when we first bought the hotel, we had told our realtor that we wanted to do a little bar and restaurant at the hotel. And he goes, would you be interested in one that's on the beach? We're like, oh, okay. Our hotel is about 2,500 feet off of the beach.
Okay.
That 2,500 feet is important because it's also away from the party zone.
Right.
So we can sleep at night, without hearing the boom, boom, boom of the music. But so we ended up going to this building that's on the beach. It has a restaurant, big patio, 2 apartments above it, and just crazy inexpensive. And we're like, well, that makes a whole lot more sense than building a new restaurant or bar on site. It's on the beach.
Yeah.
And so we created Merman Beach Club.
Oh, that's so cool.
There. And then last year, we opened in town. There was a building that became available right in the middle of town. And it was a 3-story building. There was a retail space on the first floor, a couple of apartments on the second floor, and then a rooftop terrace. And so we created a bar downstairs that's more for live music and karaoke and kind of casual atmosphere, and then cleaned up the apartments that we do get rented out on the weekends for those partiers that want to be in town. And then the top floor is kind of a dance bar that we use on the busy weekends, holiday weekends and busy weekends. So get a little more variety involved, and it just gives us more options. And our visitors and our guests more options to have different experience.
Wow, you're taking over the whole town.
No. Some of those nightclubs are huge. I mean, they're like whole blocks, 2 and 3 stories.
Oh, fun. Wow. Okay.
And they're really fun. I don't stay out that late.
Right.
They don't start partying until like 11 o'clock. And that's about the time I'm ready.
Sounds like Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will go until the sun comes up.
Okay.
Wow.
They like to party.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, really great to hear everything. I do want to do a quick call out because I've been looking at your T-shirt while we've been talking, and I love your T-shirt. It says "Forever and Always Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
Never forget. Established 1550."
Yeah.
So, when folks ask you, do you call it the Gulf of America now? Or?
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
I was born in Bradenton and lived on Anna Maria Island as a little kid.
Okay.
The Gulf of Mexico was my backyard.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Gulf of America nonsense is just that nonsense.
So for folks that want to maybe check out more about your businesses, whether it's in St. Pete or Ecuador, do you have a website or Facebook, or how can they find out more online?
We are both on Facebook and have a website. CasaDelMerMan.com can take you to either location.
Oh, okay.
GaySt.Pete.com is the local St. Pete one. We also have Visit Gay Montanita.com.
Oh, nice.
Which has a lot of information on Montanita, how to get there, frequently asked questions, and just lots of information.
Now, if you wanted to leave one core message with our listeners today, so they really remember our conversation, what would you say?
Travel more.
Yeah.
Get outside of your bubble. Don't be stuck on preconceptions of traveling to different locations. Take some risk. Go with somebody if you don't feel comfortable going alone, but go. Learning other cultures and learning how other places live, I think, is extremely important. I really wish that our education system in the U.S. would require that.
Yeah.
That people live abroad for 6 months somewhere.
Right.
Ecuador is a beautiful, beautiful country, lots of natural beauty. It's a very poor country. There's some obvious wealth and there's a lot of poverty. There's no real middle class there. But you learn so much from people there, from all generations. And I guess that's what I love the most. The kids down there are friendly and fun and engaged with their families. You see different generations working in the same business, from young teenager all the way up to great grandfather working in the same business, same restaurants or whatever the business is. And it's to me, it's kind of a harken back to an earlier time in the U.S.
I was thinking the same thing.
When people got along more socially
Right.
and better and intergenerational and just they're educated, they have health care, they're healthy people, they eat better, they walk everywhere, and so there's a lot to learn by going to other cultures and just having an open mind and seeing it.
Yeah, I've absolutely really just loved hearing about everything about Ecuador. I do think that living in the U.S., we sometimes are in our little U.S. bubble here, so it was great to hear everything. Paul, any other final thoughts from you before we kind of wrap up?
Nothing for me. So if you would like to be a guest on the Skittle Squad, or if you'd like to advertise on the show, you can reach us at contact@theskittlesquad.com.
Brian, we want to thank you so much for
before
coming
you go,
in.
I have a couple of parting gifts.
Thank you so much.
This is some wonderful hot sauce from Ecuador.
Awesome.
It's maracuya hot sauce, which is passion fruit.
Thank you so much.
it's
Oh my
sweet and
goodness,
hot.
I absolutely love hot
nice.
sauce.
And a couple of hats. There's a Visit Gay Montanita hat and a Casa Del MerMan hat.
Great.
Nice.
And
I'll give Paul the this one.
And I would be remiss if I didn't give you stickers, because I sticker everything everywhere.
Oh, nice.
And so you can put those on your car, on your phone,
Paul,
Great.
I'll give you one sticker. And
on
I'll
a
keep
street
the rest.
sign
Thank you.
anywhere, a bathroom mirror, whatever.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Brian, thanks for coming in. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely please follow us on all of our socials, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.